Welcome! Today we're here at the skate park to perform the most difficult sport that exists on the planet. Rollerblading. I don't know. We're here to skateboard and I just set up a brand new board, wheels, and bearings, and hopefully this helps me adjust to not just the weather, but the new tricks, and then we'll also talk about why I do think skateboarding, at least the barrier of entry, is much more difficult than pretty much any other sport or extreme sport. Oh, it's wet. That's great. Good job, universe. Somewhat of a rough session because of the wind and the cold in Texas. I know every video I mention this, it's just because I'm filming every day, and in this like 2-month span, Texas really takes a hit in terms of weather. And of course with skateboarding, weather has to be decent for you to be able to skateboard decently. Especially if you want to learn a new trick, the conditions have to be pretty prime. I've talked about this before a little bit here and there, but I felt like this was the perfect video to kind of summarize the idea. But it's not that skateboarding is harder than any other sport. It's just the barrier to entry that's so much more impossible. When you play basketball or soccer or football, you can pretty much do the goal of the game immediately, right? With basketball, if you sit there and try to shoot a couple shots, eventually you'll get a shot, and you can do that the first day in probably 5 to 20 tries. You can pretty much get it without really exerting too much force. Same with football, the goal is to catch the ball, throw the ball, catch it. Baseball, hit the ball. Everything, the goals themselves are pretty easy. Taking it to the next level is the hard part, which is what the professional athletes do. With skateboarding, even the basic, like an ollie, the thing that everybody should be able to do, is so much harder to learn than the basic version of every other sport, it seems like. With a snowboard, you can jump. With a bike, you can bunny hop. With a scooter, you can jump. But with an ollie, you have to do this weird technique that can take you multiple days, lots of hours, etc., etc. But there is one main difference to extreme sports versus traditional sports that I find so much more appealing, and I don't want to talk too much before I do some more skateboarding, so I'm going to try to skate other stuff in the park. My whole dreams of trying to learn new tricks today might have to wait till a day where it's actually like, warm. It's all Tony Hawk's fault. The idea that you can get on a skateboard and be able to do all these insane combos, like in the game, you can grind anything to a manual, to a stair set, to a manual, no matter what, you can continue it on forever. When you start skating, I think you go into it with that mindset of, yeah, I could just do all these combos, and then you realize, wait, just like doing a manual is hard, and it takes like a while to learn. A kickflip can take a year, etc. Tricks take a really long time, and even the best pros in the world like Nigel Houston, they're not even doing remotely close to what you do in the game. Like, it's nowhere even comparable. It's kind of the same reason that skate videos originally, before like all this YouTube content, would take a year or 2 years to make, because people usually would go out and do about 1 trick in the day. In this video, you've already seen me do 30 tricks, because not only do I film the warm-ups, but I film talking, etc., etc. And now this is kind of a norm on the YouTube platform. People just talking about their day and what they go through with skateboarding, which can make a 10-minute video. But traditional skateboard 10-minute videos, you're lucky if you go on a tour and you're on a trip for 4 days and you get 1 trick per day. Like, that's a very successful skateboard mission. That's how difficult this is, to do tricks that you're actually proud of, that can kind of live in the atmosphere of today's technical skateboarding, like really high quality skateboarding. Getting 1 trick a day for 4 days is like insanely good. The truth is, most people don't want skateboarding to just keep pushing itself on technical abilities. Now the approach is kind of adding your own flair to it, your own style. Maybe you can bring in your own fashion sense. Skateboarding sort of works well with other industries, and usually people who become popular in skateboarding on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc., they have something else about them that's appealing rather than just their technical ability with skateboarding. With me, it's sort of just the conversation I bring and the like personal relationship I build with the audience that, you know, I know what's going on. But before I did YouTube, it was mainly me trying to do harder and harder skateboarding. And yes, I was getting a slow growth in terms of people who were interested, but it never really took off. And usually that is the case for really advanced technical skaters who don't actually showcase any of their personality or have some other flair to them, whether it be fashion or just doing tricks in a quirky way.
I made a lot of music, and you get to a point where it's like, you're good and you still love it. You always love it. It's never like gonna leave you, right?
Yeah.
But it gets to the point where you're like, I want to feel like that feeling of not knowing. You know what I mean?
Totally.
That shaky leg, that like, oh my God, and then that
yeah.
rush of just like, holy crap, did I just do that? Even though it was like a tiny little thing,
right?
You know, it feels like a huge accomplishment.
Right, because I kind of know what like a new trick's gonna feel like. Even if it is a new trick and it's exciting, I still know what that's gonna feel like because I've done it so many times.
Yeah.
But like a new trick, like if I was to rollerblade and learn anything, it'd be like a whole new feeling. It wouldn't feel like a new trick in skateboarding, you know?
Exactly.
My friends, is the story of why skateboarding is the hardest sport, at least my interpretation of it. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you think down below. What's another sport where the barrier to entry is just as difficult, just as ridiculous, as in it takes a long time to do the bare minimum of the sport? With polo, you can ride a horse quickly. I'm not gonna go on this tangent again, but you get it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the skateboarding I did today. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna continue this tomorrow. Today was training day, which is why I wanted to be in a park, and tomorrow hopefully we go more street, or at least figure out like a fun idea that can be new and innovative and exciting. I totally forgot to say why I like extreme sports more than traditional sports, because the markers of progression are so much more obvious. When you learn tricks, you can learn thousands and thousands of tricks. You either land it or you don't. When you land it, you've gotten better at skateboarding. With football, you get stronger, better, faster, but sometimes those identifiers, those marks, those landmarks are a little harder to identify. My God, I say stupid things and I put sentences together badly, but I think you get it. Skateboarding is more gamified. Also, working on merchandise and designs. God, it was a good conversation. What a good day. It's been fun. Thank you so much. Take care, progress daily, and keep killing it!